And another exciting episode of Drunk and Dread. I am your host for tonight's game. We are here. We are excited to bring you the sequel, the first sequel in like season 2 of Drunk and Dread. We've got new players, we've got new challenges, but we have some announcements before we get started. As always, we want to thank everybody out there that's been following and doing and telling friends and joining us on the Discord. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And the Drunken Cooking Show is still in the works. Chaotic Culinary Adventure is going to happen. We're trying to figure out a date.
It's tough while Halloween Horror Nights is going on.
It's tough. A lot of our players and a lot of the people here on this couch celebrate Halloween Horror Nights, so it's just hard to kind of get that going. But it's still in the works. We want to thank you all for sharing and getting all of that coming up. Coming up next on the channel is the very last, I think the last sort of playing episode of the Chosen Family.
Are we rolling?
Campaign. I don't know if we're rolling. It's a bit of an epilogue, a goodbye to the characters.
Bring my dice anyway.
Bring your dice anyway.
Yeah.
You never know. You might need them.
You never know.
We'll just die. I'll die.
Thanks. Yeah, that's really sad. So that's happening on Monday. As always, here at Drunken Dread, we give you the opportunity to mess with our lovely players. Even our brand new players. For 200 bits, you can grant a player a power-up where they can push a challenge to another player. For 300 bits, it is an instant obstacle for a player. No drinking allowed. For 500, it is the DM challenge. For 1,000, it is a blindfolded pull for a player where one person gives advice and helps another player do a blindfolded pull. And for 1,500, it is a showdown between two players.
I feel like you skipped one of those.
So here's the deal with the DM challenge. You are my loyal army of watchers and audience, and I am very happy and grateful to have you guys here. This particular episode is the one that went completely off the rails the last time I did it.
Yes, it did.
I feel... So I was trying to come up with a DM challenge that would reflect that. This episode is the episode that I tend to send to people when they want to know more about Drunken Dread. And Ecto 1 rant off of a T-Rex.
It's such a good moment.
It is such a great
that
moment.
happened. I don't.
So I actually didn't tell these guys what the DM challenge is. And I broke a rule that I established from the beginning. That I was always going to tell them. So we have a brand new player with us tonight. Matt, I'm not going to subject you to this. The first time you get a DM challenge, we're actually going to have you be indoctrinated in by using the T-Rex heads. You'll be doing a T-Rex roll. Audience, I'm going to ask you something very special. I'm going to ask you all to trust me. Because even now, I don't want to tell the players what the DM challenge
Don't trust
is
him.
No.
Don't trust him.
But if you grant a DM challenge to 1, 2, 3, or 4, I promise you it'll be worth the bits. And it's the only thing that I could think of to make End of the World Part 2 as epic as I wanted it to be. So I'm going to ask you to trust me, just like I'm asking all of them to trust me.
Oh my god.
So I only ask that you do not get up from your seat when the DM challenge is given to you. That's the only rule that I've been given to you.
That is such a weird request.
Yeah.
Did you get your phone out?
Yeah.
For me?
What?
I don't.
Thank you. And just have that on standby. Okay.
What is happening?
So,
I'm so scared.
all of that being said, let's talk a little bit about what happened in End of the World Part 1. A group of adventurers made their way to the last sort of bastion of society. We lost some people along the way. We gained some chickens along the way. So let's talk about our characters, shall we? Let's start at the end. Jeremy, I think they're familiar with you, but tell us a little bit about your character.
Jeremy Winstead, lawyer, leader of this, ragtag group. I guess we're not nearly what we used to be, but we are currently in New Haven and seem to be surviving. I've kept Nugget with me because I don't know. She seems to have a weird personality. Plus, every time I try to leave her alone, she just follows me anyway. So I tried to lean into it. Thanks.
We have a newcomer to this ragtag bunch of heroes, and that is Dante.
Hey, Dante here. Before the end of the world, I was trying to finish up my super senior year. Getting that philosophy major down. I enjoy slacklining and frisbee. Of the ultimate variety.
Dante is the mouth of this show. And is the mouth of the group, and sort of is going to be in charge of sort of interacting with different people. Jenny Lynn?
I'm Jenny Lynn. I used to work at the Dairy Queen, but my dad taught me to shoot, and I'm really good at shooting. Unfortunately, Chicken went off to the commune, and so he's been living happily, I'm telling myself, with the rest of the commune folk, and he has not been killed for meat. But yeah, that's my story right now.
And last, but certainly not least,
Leroy Jenkins!
Oh, God.
So, Leroy, I was a bus driver in a past life, but now I am the driver of this team. That's really my only discernible skill.
well,
Wait, they still are.
I know. Keep going. And we have one more player. Nugget is still with us very much because we couldn't do this without Nugget. Leroy Jenkins. I'm going to have all of you pull a brick for me. We're going to start over there just to wean out the tower a little bit. While I describe to you the premise of today's adventure.
Yeah.
All of you, go ahead.
Well, last time, I had the shakes.
Last time you got the shakes, and it was
for the first time ever.
scary.
I was scared. Yeah, so let's see what we got.
Ooh, already.
You already knocked the table.
Yeah, I feel good today.
You are all part of this group of people, and you are actually the number one scavenging team that lives in New Haven. This is a routine adventure for you. You've been in New Haven.
Not already.
No, get out of here.
You can abandon that brick if you
I have
want
the
to.
next new player ready.
And that brick.
There you go. It's all right. We're good. You are the top scavenging group that's part, and this is going to be a routine sort of mission for you guys. You guys are going out, and you go out, I would say bi-weekly, you go out and you sort of scavenge the area. The only problem is you guys started close to the base, and then sort of navigated the area and have started to have to increase the radius of your searching area. So today, it's a normal day like any other. You are going out, and sort of traveling the outskirted areas, and you are all in the car. What kind of car are you driving?
Ooh, can it be Ecto 1 that we've been fixing up?
Can we have fixed Ecto 1?
We gotta have fixed Ecto 1.
Ecto 1.
You fixed to the up to the Ecto 1.
Turn off the sirens?
It is. There are sirens, and there are racing stripes, and yes, the car is fixed.
Well, one racing stripe, it's red. It's the Ecto 1. We don't have other racing stripes.
You're running into issues because Jenny Lynn is a purist and belongs to the Church of Venkman, and believes that the Ecto 1 should not be modded in a way that takes away.
Can we add weapons to it?
You can add them so that they can't be seen or look like they are maintaining the integrity of the vehicle.
What about inside the horns? Like there's a gun.
Before we
you
start
can't see
modding
them,
the Ecto
that'll work
1,
with me.
why don't we do a toast? Because it's been a while since we got to do this, and I'm really happy to be sharing this with our new player and with all of you here again, and I missed the hell out of this. It's been 2 weeks, and that's far too long. So here's to all the stories from now until we're dead. Here's to you, here's to me, and to all of you, here's Shred.
That's not a good side.
Oh, purple drum. Okay, so start helping me craft this universe for you. I imagine that there have been some changes to the Ecto 1. I feel like the first crack at the sort of the changes to the Ecto-1 should go to Leroy. So Leroy, pull a brick for me, or take a drink. What one change are you adding to the Ecto-1 to make it better for this survival team?
I want rollers on the front. So if we hit anything, it rolls off to the side.
Okay. And that does. And let's say that they are neon green and painted to look like Slimer.
Yeah.
So that way it looks like we drove into Slimer and he's
And now he protects the front.
Jenny, what sort of unique weaponry is either part of the car or outfitted to this group of people?
Okay, so when you pull out the back, and normally you've got your proton packs on the racks, instead we changed it to a gun rack.
Okay.
So that we can have all of our guns and ammo and all the other things that we can use to shoot things on the proton pack rack, but it still doesn't look very different if you take them all off than the original proton pack rack.
Okay.
Got it?
Did you take a drink or make a pull to make
I
this
did not,
change
but I
to the
will.
universe? Okay. So let's talk about this. Dante, you're kind of the people guy. What sort of... Actually, I'll do one better. You take a drink for me, I'll let you pull randomly from the list of resources that Dante sort of found and in his...
Have you explained who wrote most of this list?
This list of resources, the dynamic that we used in the very first game, a lot of them were written by me. And I was like, I'm so clever. And then I gave my 7-year-old child a crack at writing down some of the things. So a lot of these are written by him. So why don't you pull one at random?
You got this.
This is the object or item. Some of them are really good. Some of them are...
Well, I really thought that the Ecto-1 needed a robot dog.
Totally him.
The group has a robot dog with a saddle that Nugget rides on top of. And Nugget will ride.
His name is Lugbolt.
His name is what?
Lugbolt.
Lugbolt. Lugbolt, the robot dog. And he answers specifically to Dante.
It's a Lug9.
We have a special connection.
He answers specifically to Dante. Lug and Dog is the animated show that will invariably take place on Saturday mornings.
But he was modeled after K9 Firehawk.
He was modeled after...
He looks just like K9.
He was modeled after K9 from the Doctor Who series. So, that being said, we have our robot dog, we have our weapons rack. Tell me something specifically, John, after you take a drink or pull a brick, about the specific parameters of the mission that you guys are going on today.
It's a big mission.
He's already looking.
Probably should have had an idea.
Another one of those. I bet you'll have one.
I'll bet. Okay, so those old people that ran the motel, they have stockpiles of weapons and food.
Okay.
So we find ourselves going back there.
Okay, so Dante and Leroy, you have heard stories about when they were first trying to get to you guys in New Haven. They stopped at this motel, and it was like this cannibalistic group of...
Well, we didn't stop.
You didn't stop.
They offered us pizza, right?
They offered you pizza, and this is actually, I believe, where one of your party members met their untimely demise.
Exactly.
So... You are headed back...
that's where we gained Nugget.
We already had
Well,
Nugget.
we already had Nugget.
You gained
Okay.
a better appreciation for Nugget.
sentient Nugget.
At the motel. Okay, so I will say this, John. Let's add a little bit of intrigue to this. Jeremy, you have told them that there are stockpiles of weapons there, and you have told them that there are resources there, but that is not the reason that you want to go back.
Deal.
You want to go back for revenge. And so you convince them to outfit the party with the best weapons, the best wheelman, and the best negotiator because you want to go back and fuck their shit up.
Fuck yeah, for Bonnie.
For Bonnie.
Yeah, that was her name, assholes. I remember.
He had to have a drink in him before
I
he
didn't
could.
remember my name, but I remember her face.
You guys set out, and I'll say that Leroy is pretty adamant about setting out first thing in the morning so that they have light with them. So you guys set out. You can't go the highway because the highway was destroyed and the
Dinosaurs and stuff. Yeah.
So you're having to take back roads. Who is sitting where in the car?
I'll take passenger. I mean, he's driving.
Right.
Okay, so you two are in the back.
Oh yeah.
Nugget and Lug and Nug are in the back sitting with you. You are driving down the road, and all of a sudden, in front of the car is a suitcase. It's general rolling suitcase, but it is standing straight up. It looks somewhat pristine. You've noticed that the growth along the sides of the roads has gotten even more sort of green, and it looks like it's taking over. The roads are starting to crack. But Leroy, I'll say that you noticed this first because you tend to be a bit of an eagle eye. So that's where you find yourselves.
Y'all see that?
Yeah, that's odd.
Y'all want me to stop? Should I keep going? What do you want?
Stop real quick.
Okay. Slams on brakes.
Okay.
You could have just slowed down.
You could have stopped a little slower.
You said stop.
No, he was seizing the moment, guys. He was seizing the moment.
Tell you what, why don't you guys go check it out? I'll cover you with the gun.
Yeah, Leroy. You saw it.
No, Leroy needs to stay behind the wheel. We'll go take care of it.
Yeah, us. Yeah, we got this.
How are you covering them?
I'm gonna shoot anything that tries to get them while
Are you
they're.
getting out of the car? Are you sticking your
No,
head out of
I'm
the
gonna
window?
stick my head and the gun out the window, but I'm not gonna get out of the car.
Okay, this is a go-to move for Jenny Lynn. She just sticks like half of her body outside.
It's
the
sort of
car.
like when she blew up that half the wet box of fireworks.
I need to know how far away you are, Leroy. Like, how far did you stop the car?
He stopped short, so yeah.
You're close to it?
No, he stopped short. Like
I stopped as soon as we
quickly.
said something. I'm gonna say we're probably like 40 feet away.
Okay. Who gets out of the car first?
All right, I'll get out.
I got your back, man.
Dante locks the car.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Do I have like? I assume I'm outfitted with like a pistol or something.
Are you?
I am.
You are. No bullets in there, but you definitely have a pistol.
Bullets.
Oh.
And I know how to shoot it too.
You have a pistol, and you are actually still wearing a suit, and so you have this. You've gained a little bit of confidence over the time that you've spent with New Haven, and it's almost like one of those like fake it till you make it sort of things. Everybody's tending to look to you. So I will say this then: you are striking a significant pose. You're both walking in tandem, or is somebody taking the lead on this?
No, because he's still in the car.
I'm out there alone.
No, I've completely disregarded what was said. I'm standing right next to him.
I appreciate that, Leroy, because Dante's a
What are we doing?
bitch.
Can you move over to the driver's seat? Please? You have to take over.
That's
take
not
off
a bad
little bit?
idea.
Okay.
I moved to the driver's seat.
Lug and Nug are in the back seat, sort of like on their own.
Good boy, Logan.
Who's paying attention out of the two of you?
I'll pay attention.
Okay,
Okay, good. That's fine.
You hear.
Jeez, I know how strong these are because he made them and I have one.
You are hearing music coming from the suitcase. It is a light classical music. You're not cultured enough. You tend to listen to like sort of,
Country.
Yeah, Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah.
You're already there.
Okay.
But you're hearing sort of classical music coming from the back.
Hey, Jerry, you hear that pretty music?
Do I hear that pretty music?
Now that he's pointed it out to you, you definitely hear the pretty music.
Back to the car. I want to go back to the car and I want to take a shot at it.
You're gonna take a shot at the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Leroy thinks that's a bad idea.
Cool. you take a shot at the bag. Pick a number 1 through 10.
7.
Okay, you take a shot at the bag. There's this, as the bullet hits the bag, it's somewhat silenced by whatever was inside the bag, and the music's still playing.
I don't feel like we should drive forward over this.
Well, here, I'll just move it. Ah! I walk over and move it.
You move the bag?
Yeah.
Okay. The music continues to play.
But it's definitely coming from the bag?
The bag is heavy.
Okay.
And there's music coming from in the bag. Because you're lifting the bag, I'll say that there is a front pocket. It's almost one of those rolling suitcases, and the music is coming from the topmost pocket. So whatever is playing the music is small. It's small enough to fit in the topmost pocket of the bag.
Okay.
I mean, if we're already moving it, might as well open it.
So I open it.
Cool.
I'm up there with him.
It is a miniature Bluetooth speaker. Something you could find in like a Walgreens, or it's a generic sort of speaker, but it is playing classical music.
Oh no. Bluetooth means that there's a phone nearby. And someone is playing. We need to get back to the car.
What's going on, bros?
For shit's sake!
You had to yell through the lights when the nugget poops. The loud noise. The dog in the back seat perks up and sort of looks off into the sort of bushes area when he yells. You hear him yell through the car, and these two notice the dog sort of like its head sort of perks up and looks off into...
At the loud noise, I draw my gun, and like I'm just surveying the area, I guess.
Okay.
Making sure that, because I already feel like this is a trap.
The bushes are definitely moving, but nothing is happening. You don't know if it's wind, but right now there's music coming from the speaker. In Leroy's hand, and the bushes are slightly moving a little bit, and that bag is heavy.
What else is in the bag? I'm going to keep my gun trained on the bushes.
You can look inside the bag, or you could have if you have a drink, I'll pick what's in the bag.
Well, I mean, he's the one that's actually like looking.
Yeah,
through
I'll open it.
Yeah.
You'll open it?
Yeah.
You can have a drink.
I don't wanna
I'll
take
pick what's in the
full-
bag, or you can do a couple of pulls for me, and I'll let you pick.
Oh God.
Wow.
I'm
Roll one of these.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No.
I'll save it.
Okay. You unzip the bag, and as you unzip the bag just a tiny little bit, you see a claw reach out of the bag and then come back in. It's like a little yellow, it almost looks like a bird foot. It almost looks like Nuggets like claw, and then it comes back into the bag.
Ooh, I just shot that thing.
Last time I got to choose between a survival kit or 2 chickens, and I chose the chickens, and look how that worked out.
Yep. You made a good choice. Wait, what am I doing?
I'm sorry.
Am I choosing?
No,
No.
you took a drink.
Okay.
So as you kind of reel back from it, you hear this, and Nugget starts flipping out.
Okay. I want to open the bag real quick.
As you open the bag, what could only be described as a feral, frantic flamingo that is mutated and is foaming at the mouth and just starts like white spray sort of spraying everywhere. And as it does that, the speaker in your hand, you sort of jump back and you drop, and the speaker falls and hits the ground. And as it hits the ground, the music cuts off and the bushes stop moving. And that's when the car gets swarmed. It is humanoid-ish. You see where skin should be, you still see skin. The ears are gone in a lot of the sort of like humanoid creatures that you're seeing. But in bright sort of spots on the body, it looks like feathers are starting to come up. Some of them have eyes. Some of them, the eyes have been almost what looks to be cut out of the sockets. And as this flamingo starts sort of like flapping around at all of you, these bird-like creatures sort of come streaming out of the woodwork and start swarming the car. I need to know what everybody's doing.
Well, I'm just gonna say I'm in that driver's seat.
still in
I'm
the
starting to
car.
freak out. I'm fumbling with the keys. I'm getting it going.
Okay, you guys hear the engine. You look in the car, and you look in the driver's seat, and Dante is panicking a little bit, and he's looking for the keys to try to get the car moving. What else is everybody doing?
Is the bag empty now? There's nothing else in the bag?
No, there's other things.
There's other things in the bag. I'm going to grab the bag and start running towards the vehicle.
Okay.
It should be significantly lighter now than
It is significantly lighter now.
All right. Well, yeah, we're
Pull the
running.
whole back
Okay.
towards the car, get in, and we should take off.
No, there's.
Is it? It's significantly light enough for me to swing?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm swinging the
You're
bag.
seeing what else is in the bag.
Yep.
Swinging the bag, like knocking.
Oh!
Oh!
What happened?
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh!
Cool. That is a perfect shot. So, Audie, thank you so much.
Oh my
Oh no!
Audie, thank you so much. Audie has bought DM challenges for all of the players here.
Oh!
So, Audie, I need you to give me an order that you want the players to do this in. Tim, you still got your phone?
What the fuck is happening?
So while Audie decides what order she wants the DM challenges to go into, these bird-like creatures sort of swarm the car. So 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of all these players, Audie, I need a list of what order you want to go to. Nugget starts freaking out a little bit. You do notice, I will say, that as the bird creatures come towards the car, they start to swarm the car a little bit. One of them looks at you, and they stop. And now they're starting to just sort of like try to sort of swarm around to where you are with the weapons. You are about to
Swinging the bag.
swing the bag at the nearest thing. So Dante, we're gonna start with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god!
Okay,
He's
first
stood
he
on
gets
the fine.
the
That's
T-Rex
perfect.
first.
He gets to use the
So you get to do the T-Rex pull.
Oh, I'm the first one that has to do the
You're
real
the first
one.
one with the scary one that we don't know about.
Hold on. Is there the belt though? Do we have the belt or no?
We don't need to do the belt for
He can do
this
this.
one. He can do this.
He can do this.
So what you're gonna do? Dante, welcome to Drunken Dread. Grab this beer.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I'll get it. I'll get
You
it.
get
I'm good.
yourself settled.
Get
in that
yourself
position
settled.
that you're okay with.
You need to pull a brick.
Yeah, yeah.
What if we all die?
We might.
All
Alright,
right.
you ready?
Hit me up with a head. Yeah, yeah. But what am I doing? Just pulling?
You gotta pull a
John,
brick.
then you guys can run the controls, and Tim and I will jump in.
Oh no.
Uh,
Oh no.
Careful, Bubba.
Oh no.
oh.
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 Oh. Okay.
Rawr.
Perfect. That's got to be part of it now.
Here's the.
Rawr.
Good job,
You have
Bubba.
to do the rawr.
You should do the rar.
I'll just leave
You
it.
guys make fun of me because I write these amazing adventures.
We
We
Mess
haven't made
with that.
fun of you.
I'm not allowed to stay
Never.
For the
make
record,
fun-
So John,
we're not
you're
making
up
fun.
first.
Oh.
For the next 5 minutes, you are the DM.
What?
5,
Crap.
4,
Uh-oh.
3,
Oh,
2,
crap.
No, hold on.
1.
Uh-oh.
So what happens to Jeremy?
What happens to Jeremy?
Uh-oh.
Oh, crap.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh. Jeremy, bro! What you doing?
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm running towards the
Who's
car
pulling what? Good. Okay.
with the
they're
swing in the
shooting
back.
at us.
Not
All
with
right. That sounds like a pull. Sounds like
Okay.
you're pulling probably, or a drink. Either way.
Oh, crap.
You have
It's only
unlimited
Act
reign of the universe.
Cool.
Whatever you want to happens.
Awesome. All right. So you smack one of the bird things.
Okay.
However, that also means you're close enough. So like they could start like snipping at you.
Right.
So you were saying you wanted to start the keys.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you start moving the vehicle.
Okay, we were like 40 feet away, right?
Well, that's
We
the
were?
thing. The birds were sort of swarming around.
Right.
So where were you? Like, were you in front of the vehicle? Were you off to the side?
We were in front of the vehicle at the bag.
Okay.
And I started running towards the vehicle, swinging the bag.
All right. So you're still standing in front of the vehicle.
Yes, I'm moving towards the vehicle.
All right. So basically, now one of you has to make a pull. Or, well, actually, both of you have to make a pull, because fuck it, I'm going power hungry. You have to try to swerve out of the way, and you had to try to jump out of the way, and hopefully you don't go the same direction.
Huh?
Go for it.
Yeah, I know. It's John. I can drink.
Oh, I'll drink with you. There we
There you
go.
go, perfect. Drunk driving, guys. It's bad. Don't do it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Cool. This is fine. All right. So you jump out of the way and the car drives. Now, do you decide to like stop to pick us up?
Oh
or
yeah,
do you
no.
go?
I would like to attempt like a super James Bondy swerve, open the passenger door for you guys.
That's gonna be at least 2 pulls.
You got it.
Okay.
I've had such a good record with this already. Yeah. Hi, buddy.
You can also do like a drink and a pull, but I need at least one like
All right.
pull.
Well,
Oh,
It's okay.
That's fine.
It's all
That's
right.
fine. Hey, that is not your call.
my depth perception. He's power hungry.
John, remember, he gets control back eventually.
Oh, this is.
Keep putting.
I
me
won't
in the
do that
spot.
to everyone else.
Keep spending bits to keep me in control.
Oh no, we all get our turn.
Yeah, you guys all
Yeah.
get your turn.
This
You're
is
assuming
like
it's the same thing for everyone.
Uh-oh.
What?
He's got a point.
Don't leave your seat. Is the only thing.
Oh, no.
Okay, good. All right. So you're able to sort of maneuver like you've seen it obviously in movies and stuff. You're sort of able to maneuver with the e-brake and like skid and stuff. Jeremy lets out a shudder because they worked so hard on repairing that vehicle and like it's sort of very
I gotta test
stressful.
its limits.
Yeah, of course. So both do you unlock the car? Do you remember to unlock the car?
I definitely forgot to do that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Great. So I run
Jenny-
right into the
No,
side.
no, she's in charge.
What happens?
She's in
Oh
charge.
god. Okay, so one of the big like bird people thing lands on top of the car and he's crouching down and he's looking at the people in the car and he's making this sound and you think it
What
might
sound?
be words, but you're having trouble. What sound is it? What sound? Okay, he's and you think it might be words, but you're having trouble figuring out what it is that he's saying. But I'll give someone a perception check of 2
Ooh,
bricks
uh,
to figure out what it is he's
Can
saying.
I do a drink and a pull?
You can do a drink and a pull.
Nugget knows exactly what this thing is saying.
What's it saying? Do you want earmuffs for them?
Nope. Give us our sister.
Oof. That's not great.
What do you do?
Well, I continue trying to get into the car.
Yeah, we're trying to get in the
Unlock the
vehicle.
car!
They're all getting more and more violent. They're pulling on the car. They're making these awful
How many
nasty
creatures
sounds.
do you
What
got?
do you do?
I sing the song of my people.
What the fuck?
All right.
How's that going, guys?
It's like those guys.
Very
screaming over
enamored.
mountains.
There is one in particular that you can practically see the little cartoon love hearts in his eyes as he comes up towards you, and he's just beckoning out towards you. And now they're getting more and more just almost violent towards the car, trying to get to you. They're saying, and now you can even hear the words, even though it's not quite English. Give us our sister. Give her to us now. And they're just attacking at the car. And you're trying to get it started. Have you gotten it started yet?
It was
Well, no,
already
it was already started.
We just can't
We
get
need it
in.
unlocked.
No one's
can't get
unlocked
in.
it for
Okay.
us.
All right. So are you going
Do I have a
to
spare
unlock
set
the
of
car and
keys?
let them in
Can
or
I
not?
pull for a bear?
Oh yeah, no.
spare
I mean,
set of keys?
I definitely want
You
them to
can
get
pull
in.
for a spare set of keys, but it's going to take either 2 pulls or a drink and a pull.
For a set of keys.
We're also being very fair to each other, I feel.
I'm the driver.
We're not even making this easy for each other, which it kind of sucks, but...
Look, that Ecto 1's my baby. I'm gonna have a spare set of keys.
You do have a spare set of keys. Which door have you opened up? Because there's 4 doors on it.
I have opened the driver's door, pulled Dante out, put him in the back, out to the
No,
front.
You've opened the door. You had a spare set of keys. You have opened the door.
Okay.
Now what are you doing?
Okay. I have opened which door?
Which door
Up
did
to
you
me.
open? That's
The
fine.
driver's door.
You open the driver's door. Now what are you doing?
Hitting the automatic unlock.
Oh, for all the doors.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you do that because that's not something that takes a skill. Now what are you doing next?
Can
Because
I,
now the car is on.
I'm gonna pull like a over
Yeah.
the shoulder somersault and just get in the other chair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Look at that.
that's
Well,
definitely you don't
I
have
would-
the agility for that without a pull.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
The minute he jumps from the driver's seat off, the car is in drive, his foot goes off the brake.
You!
And while he's...
No. He engaged the e-brake to stop.
That's right. I did
You
that
did?
really cool.
Yes,
He
you
did.
did.
Okay.
He did say
The
that.
only thing I didn't do
Yeah,
was
but
unlock
you're
the door.
definitely gonna have to pull or drink for that
I'll
that
drink for
roll
this.
thing, and you're gonna have to drink or pull if you're gonna jump in that seat. It's a vehicle that's
gonna
on
be
and it's moving.
bad.
One more.
It's gonna be great.
That is
We're
my
playing-
contribution.
I
to
can't
this
wait
game,
till we
is to
play
make
Mario
Eric
Party after
smash.
this.
All
Okay.
All right, so you get in.
I'm in the
You're
driver's
over
seat,
the
doors are
seat.
unlocked.
Are
What
you
seat
in
is
yet?
what seat is empty?
You went
She
to the back.
doesn't know. Leroy knows.
All right, what seat is empty?
The passenger seat because you ran to the back, right?
No,
No,
I
no,
somersaulted
it's
to the
the
So
passenger.
the passenger.
So it's one of the back
So it's the
seats.
back.
It's one of the
back
back seats.
passenger.
Okay, all right. So the Ecto one has a bunch of like horns and stuff on the top, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna grab on top and hit the window twice so that you know to go.
Oh, so you're
I'm
right
done.
on the
You're
top.
gonna hold on to the top?
back, yeah.
Okay, in order
Okay.
to do that, because
It's my turn.
okay.
Let's go. Come on, baby.
Okay. You were a little nervous
Oh,
in the
obviously.
situation, so your
Yeah,
hands are a
yeah,
little slick.
Naturally.
Yeah. So drink or pull to hang on.
Just one?
Both.
Both? Okay, awesome.
Or finish the whole thing.
Finish the whole.
What people
We're
like
worse to
Drunk
each
John.
other. We're worse to each other than he is to us.
Okay, so he held on. He held on real good.
Punch it, Leroy.
And punch it. And we are speeding down the road. I pulled the backpack in with me.
Okay.
Where are we headed? Dante,
Well, hopefully, eventually you stop to let me in.
you...
Well, we gotta get some.
I hang
we gotta
out
get
with
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you hung on real well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are Spider-Man
on the
right
side
now.
of an Ecto one, you can.
Well, we
called
barely
wrapping your
started our
arms and
mission.
your legs
right?
around
Okay,
it.
so keep heading towards the
So
house.
I say we gotta keep going.
Okay.
Heather Reed's face is my life right now. It's my favorite comment in the chat.
So I punch it and we start heading towards the location that John that Jeremy
Yeah.
told us to go to.
Okay.
What happens next?
How far away were we?
How far away were you?
We were.
Halfway?
It didn't take us very long to get to New Haven in the old game.
Yeah.
So we're going pretty fast. We can make it in
There's
five,
no T-Rex around right now.
5 to 10 minutes.
I have briefed you on the fact that there were tire strips.
Mer?
I have briefed you on the fact that there were tire strips that pop the tires, just so you're like aware of it.
Okay. So I know to look out for any kind of traps or anything like that
Exactly.
on the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so we make it to the location. We see the remains of the exploded fire truck. That was out front.
Oh my god.
And
That's what memories.
I pull up behind it.
Oh, like
So
sort
it,
of behind-
yeah.
yeah.
So as to disguise our approach.
Yeah.
Nugget, then what happens?
Oh god.
So what do? Who's doing what?
All right. At that point, I've still got my gun. I've only fired one bullet. We'll say it's a revolver just to keep things simple with 6 shots. So I've still got 5 left.
Is there anything around the fire truck?
No.
All right. So basically,
So what are you doing?
I'm covering everyone else as they get out and get gear on and get
So
ready
that
and
you're
stuff.
getting out of the car.
Well, I'm not in the car.
Right. So who's leaving the car? Or is everybody staying in? Are you getting out?
Leaving the car.
We're at our mission spot now.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I get out.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah.
so shut the door.
Behind me, yeah, because I'm in the
Alright,
passenger.
as soon
So
as
yeah.
you do that,
Jeez.
you hear a gunshot from behind the motel.
Oh, okay.
Now what?
Leroy follows suit.
All right. Well, so much for being the element of
somebody-
surprise.
There's also something that someone notices.
Who notices?
I'll notice. I'll notice things. I'm good at noticing.
Oh no.
There's a very
Not gonna put that on
familiar.
Thank you.
Am I allowed to pull a brick and then put it somewhere else and then pull a different brick and like replace bricks to make it more solid?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
No fortification.
Ooh boy.
Not that one. Okay.
Well, no. I mean, it's fine. It's fine choice.
You do you.
It's fine. It's
No,
fine.
that's fine. I don't have to screw anyone else over. There you go.
There's
That one?
Yeah, it's
a
going, yeah.
very familiar vehicle that starts to round the motel.
Is it the other car? Like there was a fire truck and then the other
Large
car.
monster truck.
The monster truck was what it was. Oh
and there are different
shit.
people in this monster truck.
They're not the okay.
No, because it's been taken over
Oh shit.
by a different band.
Is it the old people?
I don't know. Can you tell?
Can I tell? I was pretty familiar with them. I'm looking really hard.
Yeah. Is it? Is it the old people?
Is it the old people?
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on!
There are
Totally the old
five
people.
old people that have taken over this large monster truck who are coming towards your car.
Oh shit! None of us are in it.
They don't realize that you're behind it because their hearing is not super great.
Okay.
They definitely know that there's
They're in a
something
monster
going
truck.
on.
Okay.
Alright, so they park right in front of the motel, right in front.
Oh, they parked though.
They're on the other side
Of the fire
of
truck?
the fire truck.
Okay.
Okay, I want to grab some weapons off the weapons rack.
Alright.
Well, I'm gonna open the door, pull out the weapons rack.
Right.
What are you grabbing?
Shotgun.
Okay. You grab the shotgun. You have the shotgun. The minute you grab the shotgun, because I imagine that each of you are sort of proficient in weapons and stuff like that, the car that's behind the fire truck, all of a sudden the engine kicks off. So right now it's really quiet because your engine is stopped, and you do notice that one person gets out of the monster truck and starts walking towards you. Now, while the car is filled with sort of older people, this person is also sort of dressed in normal sort of like attire. Their pants kind of hiked up to the belly.
Normal old guy.
Graying hair. Kind of. As this person gets closer, you're sort of gearing up. You're gearing up.
I want to call Luggy towards me, my robotic dog.
Luggy comes and stands next to you, and this guy sort of walks forward and he puts his hands up, and he's walking toward. No one else is getting out of the car, and this guy is sort of walking towards your car with his hands up, and he says, "We mean you no harm. We just wanted to talk.
I trained my gun on him.
We haven't seen anyone for quite some time, and we are not in a place to hurt anyone. Can we just talk?"
I said, you tried to kill us last time.
Yeah.
You killed one of our
Your
friends.
gang tends to favor trickery over honesty. So
What gang? What are you?
You tricked us with pizza. That's the worst thing to do to a person.
As you say pizza, his stomach growls, and he says, "I haven't had pizza in a long time. I don't know what you're speaking of. We found this vehicle a while ago. I don't know what gang you're speaking of."
How many gangs of old people are there in this area?
I would hope not.
I'm sorry, do you think all old people know each other?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many left, old timer.
That is true. But I'm... Is that a chicken?
Yeah, that's a chicken.
What's it to you?
He backs away. He puts his hands down. He goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't know that's what was going on. Please forgive us." He backs up towards the car, gun still traced on you. As he gets to the car,
Oh, they have guns still traced on us.
No, as you have guns
Okay,
traced
alright.
on him, he tells the people and he yells out something to them. You probably are used to sort of speaking and communicating with people. Have a drink.
Yeah.
And so you guys are all sort of like trained on the weapons. You think the attack is coming. He's a little like, it's an old person, so he takes a couple of steps forward. Earmuff it for me, guys. You hear them yell out, "Leave what you have and let's go." Okay, back. The person gets in the monster truck. There's commotion coming from inside. They take a duffel bag out of the truck. They go 1, 2, 3, and they throw it, and it lands in front of their truck.
Yeah.
There's another person that grabs a
It's like to have
gun.
a bits girl.
They take the gun, and they throw the gun so that it lands in front of the truck. The monster truck backs up, turns around, and goes back the way it came.
So there's a duffel bag on the ground now?
I go poke the duffel bag with the tip of my gun.
It is a duffel bag.
Oh, wait, what was the other
Okay.
thing in your bag?
I was about to say, I completely ignore what's going on over there and I start looking through the other bag. to see what's inside.
In your duffel bag is a collection of fake facial hair and spirit gum.
Yes. Useful.
I open up the the bag that they just threw.
Inside that bag is food, is water, a first aid kit, and there is something really heavy weighing it down. All of that stuff is laying on top of it.
It's not a mutant flamingo, is it?
It is not a mutant flamingo.
Hey guys, I think I found an experimental prototype jetpack.
That's dumb. I could be Don Quixote.
What?
I got fake facial hair.
Oh, okay, alright. I did not trace that. Like, I was so very confused. I was like, did Don Quixote have a jetpack?
Yes.
You're not too far away from where the motel is.
Yeah.
And you are noticing that because it's taken you the good majority of the day and everybody's a little nervous and on edge, the sun is starting to set. Your survival skills are clicking in and realize that, like, the freaks come out at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bad stuff tends to happen more at the nighttime. So you're going to need to set up camp.
Are we near the house?
You're right next to the motel.
And does it look occupied?
Does it look occupied? Who's checking it out?
I'll check it out.
Where are you checking out? Are you checking out the rooms? Are you going into the main office? Are you guys splitting up to do this?
I'd like to check the perimeter first, and then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to kind of climb the outside and check in some windows and stuff like that before we
Is
go.
anybody taking? Are you going with anyone?
If anybody wants to go with me.
And as you
I'll
start,
go with.
and as you start to go, I just would like to put out there, maybe we should bring the chicken with us. Chicken has had some sway.
Yes, I think if we enter the building, we should definitely bring the chicken, but to do recon on the outside, having a chicken while I'm trying to climb to look in windows.
I've been
I'm
trying to
just
stand
saying.
on my shoulder.
Okay, you take the chicken.
Alright,
I
come
want
on.
to mention that is translated to my name is Nugget.
Alright,
Chicken.
None of you understand.
Chicken
this.
died.
alright, Nug.
Good chicken, good chicken.
Nug, let's go.
You take Nug, and you're sort of
She's shouldered.
you're looking around. You're doing perimeter checks. I imagine you guys are staying by the car.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, with our robot dog.
With your robot.
Yeah.
I'm standing in my car.
Give me a pull as you sort of like look around and you're checking out the perimeter.
This
And
may be the wonkiest the tower's ever looked before intermission.
Yeah, this is,
It's pretty rough.
it is really rough.
we drink it from now
It's
on.
so like
Yeah.
We turned it from past to back.
I will. How detailed
got-
will it look to you, Tim?
I take a super detailed look.
Really? Oh my god.
Oh, maybe less detailed. Oh crap!
Wow.
Oh!
It's gonna be a one dangerous
Oh,
perception.
sorry, that was supposed
Yeah,
to
put
be
it
one
back.
Are you?
You just put it back to put it take
What
it
the
out.
hell?
You did not make
side.
that
It was
better.
supposed to be a one finger pull.
I saw what happened.
Okay.
Put it back. I
One
used
finger
or
pull?
one hand.
So as you,
Ooh.
What?
I don't understand.
Brian's in charge.
Brian is in charge. Let's do this because it's going to be a little difficult to do this to switch spots because I couldn't have people get up. When we come back from intermission,
I'll just go behind.
I will honor you. Brian will take over DMing, so Brian can actually think about what he's going to do. But that is an excellent.
So fire.
pull.
Brian gets time to think.
So Brian gets time to think and be as evil as he wants to. You go up to the top. So you're looking around. Something tickles the back of your neck, and you're just like, I should probably check up on the roof and stuff like
Okay.
that. As you check on the roof, you see that the roof is littered in bodies. It is covered. And
How many stories is this hotel?
It's just one story, but there's a little service like ladder that leads up just on the back of sort of the main area. Think of it as like a motel where like the main office is here and it's just one story of
Okay.
home. But you go up on the roof and you see that there are bodies all around. There's
How decayed do they look? Do they look like fresh, or they're like from multiple levels of
different
decay?
levels of decay.
Okay.
They're in
Are they older people or younger people, or a
Older
varied
people.
mix? All older, all like these old people.
yes.
Jalen, when you're funny.
How educated is Jenny Lynn?
Not very.
Okay, that's all you notice.
What do you got?
Guys, I see lots of dead old people up here.
All right, can I climb up there and take a look?
Yep.
I am slightly more educated.
You go up and you realize, that's weird. She just saw this like group of sort of older people that were like dead, and you are sort of looking and you're sort of walking around to try to get a bead on stuff, and you're like, that's weird. It's almost a circular pattern. Like in different spots, it's this circular pattern, and you walk forward and you're having to cover your nose because of the decay and the bugs and stuff like that, and you like brush an arm back here, and you're sort of searching the bodies, and as that happens, a couple of things happen simultaneously. The sun that was starting to set gets blocked out as storm clouds move in real quick. And as that happens, Leroy, you've been a driver for a while, you've lived in the country, the hairs on the back of your arm start standing up. And you look at Dante, and you guys shared this unspoken thing, and you both get in the car. You get in the driver's side, you get in the passenger. As you're brushing things away, Nugget pops off your shoulder, and sort of like flitters, does a little chicken thing, and lands in the center of where these dead bodies were.
Nugget, come on, you can't be... Alright, I'm gonna go after Nugget.
Do you pick her up?
Sure.
Okay. You pick her up, and Nugget does not want to be picked up. She pecks at you. It's something she's never done to you.
Nugget, what the hell? What's going on? Like,
You finally lift her up, and she is sitting on a blood red speckled egg. And it clicks that something was building a nest. Big things were building nests.
A nest of
I wanna-
bodies?
And the bodies were what was being used to build the nest.
Ew, they're warm because they're decaying.
And she goes, ew, they're warm because they're decaying. And you are in the car, and you're listening, and you're being observant, and I think you roll down the window a little bit, and you hear...
ew, Dante, stop that.
Hey man, if the world's gonna end,
I pull the loudspeaker down and say, "Y'all want to get down here real fast?"
So you guys all start to hear it now. It's like somebody's like applauding, or it's like a bunch of people, in the applause sorts to build, and you're all sort of scanning the horizon.
Yeah.
I imagine you guys all pull out weapons, and then Nugget, who's like fighting you and stopping, goes, "Forgot," and looks straight up, and you hear it first, and then you see it. The sun was not blotted out by clouds.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
It's a big fucking bird.
Nope.
Birds.
No, it's a whole
Lots
bunch of birds.
Kind of.
Flamingo, all
Chickens?
weird
Kind of.
chicken, flamingo,
People,
people.
mutant bird things.
That's where we're going to take our intermission,
Yep.
folks. We've got 2 adventurers in the car, we've got 2 on the roof of the motel, and we have a very
3 Nugget counts.
very happy Nug staring up at the sky. And that's where we're going to take our intermission. When we come back from intermission, after we take a bathroom break and get some drinks, our esteemed DM, Brian, is going to take a shot out of leading this adventure wherever he wants to lead for a few minutes, and then back into the thick of things.
This is our first multi-DM
For the
story.
End of the World, Part 2, the middle of the end. We will see you all very soon. Hi guys, welcome back to Drunken Dread. We've got a couple of updates. Brian is ready to start DMing this magical, wonderful adventure. Thank you, subs. John is drunk. Our drinks have been refilled. The tower is wonky as hell. It's the stuff that dreams are made of. So we are coming back. Stay tuned. Thank you. And throw those bits this way. We have a very special announcement coming at you at the end of the stream for the next Dread. You're not going to want to miss it. So, Brian, where does the story take us right now?
Before the break, the sky was blotted out by some winged things. It wasn't clear what it was as you looked up, and the last thing you saw was feathers and wings just overwhelming you. And the four of you wake up in the room with the weird round nest things, and somehow your hands are tied behind your backs, and you are on your knees in like a little semicircle.
Are we in a room or on the roof?
On the roof, sorry.
Okay.
And you are in a little semicircle on the roof, and weirdly, there is like the fanciest chair that was probably in this hotel, and Nugget is sitting on the fancy chair. And you are all kind of like in a semicircle as an offering to her. And there are these weird hybrid bird people. It looks like someone was either spliced with them or mated with them. Some of those birds that you saw earlier, you're not sure, but it's definitely creeping you out. And one of them comes forward and makes an attempt at your language. And it says to Nug first, it says, "O Queen, what shall we do with these?" And you look, and Nug hops down and trots over and pecks at the ground in front of Dante. And Dante, one of them comes behind you and your bonds are cut and you are dragged forward. And one of them says, "You must choose your fate. Will you mate with the queen?"
Okay. I give you the reins for a couple minutes, and we're getting chicken human sex.
Okay.
It's an episode of Dread. We have made it 2 seasons, and we have never had bestiality.
Look, I'm drunk, and I didn't know that's not okay.
I don't know, guys.
No, shut up! What? Where do you find these people?
What do you do?
So my options are to mate with the chicken or to fight
They said mate with the queen. They didn't say the chicken. They said the queen.
the queen. Nuggy baby. And my other option is to fight who?
Just to fight for your survival. Didn't say who.
I, Dante, shall fight for my survival.
Oh, God.
Okay, that one of the chicken people comes forward and throws a sword at your feet. It's not a sword it's not a weapon you've ever wielded before, and he also grabs a sword and squares off with you. It's going to be a drink and 2 pulls to defeat him, or you can do a drink and a pull and rely on the kindness of someone else in the group to save yourself.
We are bound.
All right,
I can get out.
I pick up the sword.
Okay.
What the fuck is happening?
And I start revving up, doing my battle cry, much like the New Zealanders have their tribal dance. I start my own haka.
And let's see a little bit of that.
And then with my final I throw the sword in the direction of a rope that is tying down Leroy.
Okay, so that's going to be a drink and a pull. And with the...
Oh, no, that's not.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, now give me a pull. And Leroy, you're also going to need to make a pull.
To not
Fantastic.
Because, he's throwing this at you.
Right, he threw a sword at
He threw a
me.
sword at you.
Right.
Whoa. Remember, I am an ultimate Frisbee champion.
That's fair. Your aim would be very good.
Hold on.
Wait.
His aim would be
That's
really
like
good.
actually, yeah.
And,
Come on,
and
guys.
If the sword was aerodynamic like a frisbee, he wouldn't have to pull.
Ooh, he
but
has a point.
it's a sword.
No, it's a sword, but I'm making the.
Pull.
If
Yeah.
not, you'd have to pull like 3 times.
That's right. Thank you, Tracy.
Dude, if I die right now.
All right, Eric, go ahead and give me a pull.
Tower is not going to.
Are you ready to die twice
He's
in
about
this
to get
universe?
skewered with a sword.
No, he's got this.
Oh shit!
I'm really sorry, you guys.
And you turn and you throw the sword perfectly because of your ultimate frisbee training. And you see what he's doing, Leroy, and your hands are behind your back. You dive to the ground and tilt them up so that it slices perfectly through the ropes, and you are free, and you may do whatever Billy tells you to do.
Can we do a round of applause for Ryan?
I just want to point something out real quick.
Sure.
When I had the reins, like we were fair. When Tracy and oh my gosh, I cannot Eric.
It's cool.
And
Go by
we were all fair. Ryan is a fucking psychopath.
Wait, I was not unfair.
Chicken sex.
Again,
The episode isn't over, and they could still give him 5 minutes.
That's fine.
and again, I didn't say
I will-
chicken. I said with the queen.
With the
John,
queen.
stop.
Oh yeah, the queen, which is
John,
He
stop
did
helping.
previously call
Leave,
Nugget a queen.
Yeah,
Leroy.
that did
There
happen.
could be more
Yeah.
than one.
Things happen.
great job, Plastic
Thank
Credit. Well done. So your rope is cut,
Right.
And as that happens, you are sort of standing there in the midst of it. The warriors all sort of look to you.
I am trying to look really cool, by the way, not just like like.
You throw it and you
Yeah.
look like have a little sip for me. Have a little sip.
You gotta drink to look cool.
That's good.
That's
No, we don't want to promote
Nope.
that. You. Oh Jesus!
That's very bad,
You cut the rope and then you just sort of like you kind of wait and like sort of time it so that like the moon sort of hits your hair and you do that like hair wavy thing. There you go, and it's definitely a striking of a pose. So much so that you hear Nug go. Huh? Okay. That wouldn't have been bad. So Leroy, you're up, and these two are still tied. Right now, the sort of weird hybrid creatures are looking at you, looking for any sort of guidance.
I grabbed the sword that just cut my binds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And who's closest to me?
I'll be closest to you.
You're closest?
Okay.
Okay. I reach over and cut your binds.
Hey,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm unbound.
You're unbound now.
Cool.
They
Oh yeah.
they start to rear up and pull weapons, and as they are pulling their weapons and sort of tightening this circle around you, Ginny is still sort of tied up on the ground.
Weapons expert is still tough.
I've been spending a lot of time with Chicken, or I mean Nugget, but Chicken prior to Nugget. So I'm gonna make my best imitation of her, like her happy little like
What does she
that I can
say?
possibly make.
What does she say, Nug? And
What is she saying? You gotta go Google Translate.
Right.
Hold on.
as you do that, Nug sort of like cocks her head to the side, and 10 more of the creatures sort of like come in from the ground and surround specifically you. 10 of them sort of surround you.
Like cock
And
her
there's
head,
a-
kind of like she does.
Yeah, and you cock your head, and as that happens, okay, this is where we're going. Hat's going
How are you
back.
surprised? There's no way you're
Stories
surprised
out
by
the
this.
window, huh, Billy?
Okay, so as the 10 of them sort of surround you, there is a fierce moment where the three of you are sort of looking at each other, and the warriors are sort of surrounding her. Nug is prepared, and then there is a.
Oh fuck.
And all of them sort of stop, and Nugget, even you take pause at what is going on, and there is a loud. Sorry, Boo. Our dog Boo just walked into the room. Like, what the hell is going on? There is a large crashing sound, and everyone on top of the rooftop looks towards the sort of tree line as trees start being pushed over to the side. And it is a sight that you are very familiar with, as a head sort of bobs above the tree line a little bit.
Oh
And
my
as the
gosh,
trees
dinosaurs
pushed-
are birds. Guys, dinosaurs are birds.
Push to the side.
Okay, so
push to the
You
side.
know that now.
The warriors that were surrounding all of you, including the 10, all position themselves with weapons at the ready. They've got sharpened sticks and random sort of materials, and they all sort of lean their head closer to where Nug is. I need to know what you guys are doing.
Do I still have my
I'm still
pistol
holding the
or-
sword, yes? Because
Yeah.
I used it to cut his binds.
Do I still have my pistol or no? I would assume I don't.
You do have your pistol.
Oh.
They didn't take it from you.
They didn't take any of our weapons?
Nope.
So shotgun, pistol.
Yep.
Now I know we were found minutes later, tied up, but I heard no mention of Lug. And if he's not around, I'm a dog whistle for that little robotic friend of mine.
You whistle
Can he
for
climb ladders?
You whistle for Lug, and you hear this as something starts climbing up the wall. And as it does, it gets on the ground and it like shakes like this, and it's right next to you. You are still tied up. The warriors have left you. They walk over to the edge of the roof and they kneel down. And as they kneel down, Nug hops off of the chair. And as she hops off of the chair, the T-Rex breaks through where the trees are and makes its way over to where you guys are. And it is a guttural roar. And the T-Rex that you are used to seeing before, the one that you guys ramped over,
Yeah.
was not the creature that you see before you. This one is larger. This one is big.
Does it got
big.
feathers?
The scape is unnatural, and funny enough, yes,
It's got feathers.
it reaches down and
Devolving.
grabs one of the guards that are there, one of these sort of
No,
abominations,
devolving.
and throws it up
Yeah.
into the air and chomps down on it. And as it does, Nug makes its way slowly towards it. And as it comes to eat another one off the roof, it takes pause. And Nugget bows. And it bows to her.
Oh no.
Nugget turns around. And as it does, this creature stands straight up. And as it stands straight up, all of the abominations stand straight up. And all of them look at you.
Hey Nug. Hey. So, like, we're good buddies, right? That's fine. You don't need to answer. You're freaking us out a little. Shit. What's up?
There is a pregnant pause as a slow wind starts to pick up around you, and no one moves. And Nugget stares, and she stares at you, and the four of you pick up on this weird vibe of like when the little chicken's head turns to one of you, all of the other beings there imperceptibly cock their head a microsecond after she does. It's almost like there's an animatronic or one of those like motion capture suits.
I'm gonna step forward. I'm gonna put my gun down and bow. Nugget.
Okay, give me a pull because you're walking forward towards her, and these things are looking at you.
All right, I want to make sure I'm as non-threatening as possible. Hands up, all that jazz.
The guy with that's a crack shot with the.
All right.
You walk forward as non-threatening as possible. You have
That was just a test of it.
you have your gun. You place your gun on the ground. You bow to Nugget, and as you bow down to Nugget,
Well, I mean, this is already open.
the feathered T-Rex abomination and one sort of smooth move reaches down and swallows you whole.
That was a bad idea.
That's what the T-Rex said.
Yep.
Oh God!
Yep.
Please don't
I'm
vomit.
gonna vomit. I don't puke.
Oh God!
Could you do a vomit poll, please?
As that happens, the moon sort of rises and sort of comes out of the clouds a little bit, and there's a full moon, and all of the creatures on the roof, including the feathered sort of T-Rex, start shuffling a little bit, and the three of you here. And
I really hope
it's,
they can hear that.
it's like a crinkling, crackling sound.
Are you still tied up?
That's when everything on the roof hatches.
Oh shit.
We are going to go into a bit of a speed round as
Okay.
you guys describe what happens to me. Nug, start thinking about how you're going to handle these things there, and text me how she wants to handle this. But we're going to start with you, Dante. As these things start hatching, the creatures on the roof are rustling, and all of them close their eyes, and you realize if there is a time to act, it is right now and right this second. As you're describing to me what is happening during the speed round, you are going to pull a brick, and you are going to, all three of you, keep pulling bricks until I tell you to stop.
All right. So as has been described before, Lug has a saddle, which I quickly get on top of and pull out of a saddlebag.
Jesus Christ.
This is terrible.
Yeah, this tower.
This-
Yeah, this tower's
Dante does one of those, like one of those little tiny bikes that people can ride. He scrunches up his body and sits on Lug and pulls something out of the saddlebag.
And I scream battle mode.
And he screams battle mode. And as that happens, two sort of like things come out of Lug on the sides, and you will all recognize them as not damp anymore, but fireworks that have been repurposed and attached to Lug. And as that happens, the fireworks start going off, sending everything into a bit of a frenzy. What are you doing here?
I am doing that
This
move where when your
It's a
hands are
terrible
tied behind
tower.
the back, you can pull your butt through and then like to get them into the front.
Cool.
And at the same time, I'm shouting out,
This tower sucks.
This tower sucks so bad.
Yeah.
"Dinos are birds, y'all! Dinosaurs are birds!"
Okay, I pick up my sword and I run at Jenny Lynn, cut her hands free so that she can get access to the weapons that are still on her, and then I pull my shotgun in front of me, which is already loaded.
Perfect. You're going to need that because Nugget flies off the roof. The T-Rex lowers its head. Nugget lands on top of the thing's head, turns around and looks at all of you as the things hatching on the roof are sort of lizard dinosaur hybrids start hatching out, and all of them look over at Nug and then look over at you and then drop their head a little bit, and everything that hatches on the roof starts attacking Lug. As that happens, the warriors that are on the roof, the sort of mutant hybrids, all make a run at the players. So, yes. So you pull as these creatures all go for Lug. Lug starts shooting off fireworks and is able to hold them back a little bit, but you realize it's not going to be long before this thing gets swarmed.
I am activating my experimental prototype jetpack, and I'm making my best bird imitation and going "Bah, bah, bah," as I try to fly into the air and
Very
fly
racist.
like a bird.
Very racist.
Yes.
Uh,
You're welcome.
hang on. This is a good move, and I want to reward it.
Okay.
I'm thinking of a number.
Oh God, I'm not good at this.
You hit the brick number, and I will say this is you making a play for challenging the other birds and establishing yourself as superior chicken as compared
So I need to
Nug.
get that number or higher, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But
So
Nug
Nug
still
is
has
not
an
being bad
action
guy.
or a move here. As
Oh
she
my
sees
gosh,
you flying in
this
the air.
tower
tower's
sucks
so rough.
so bad.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't do anything.
1. God.
God, that was 1.
As Ginny flies up into the air, you see Nugget not happy with the choices that you've made in your life, and the T-Rex immediately tries to leap up into the air and grab you. This pull prevents the T-Rex from grabbing your
3.
foot and dragging you down. You are, I assuming, like fighting off these
4.
creatures. The fireworks are sort of blasting away at the hatchlings.
I've got a sawed-off shotgun, so close range.
Yep.
Blowing them away.
Perfect. The T-Rex is still making advances,
5.
but you're noticing the warriors are stopping and they're sort of looking at Ginny Lynn. And Ginny Lynn is channeling that dominance battle that she had with Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
And she is not looking to fail another sort of battle for leadership. And
5.
the chickens all stop and they look over at you and you're flapping your arms like this, and the T-Rex sort of stops, and as it does, they form a circle on the roof.
Is that winning or losing?
And
We're about to find out.
as they form a circle on the roof,
Where's the dinosaur?
it is Ginny Lynn in the middle of the circle, and
Oh, God.
and
Put this on and then slide it, turn it around backwards.
Oh,
The
God.
blindfold is in between the cushions.
But we've got this already.
Oh no.
It's way funnier.
That's a poor mutation. That's not going to turn out.
I'm gonna move these drinks.
Who do you want to guide
I'm just
you?
going to take this one.
Who do you want to guide you?
John.
We got this. Okay.
You have chosen.
if you make this blindfolded pull,
No. Okay. So what you're going to do? No. Stop.
this would be
You're going to put your hand softly down, and I want you to walk yourself to the tower, so you know the area that it's in.
Jesus, you chose poorly. I got you.
Slow and steady. All right. You don't have to do this quickly. There you go. All right. So there's the tower. So up 4 levels. There. Stop. There's a spot with 3. All right. You can go ahead and test. You can go ahead and test some of those blocks if you don't see it,
Here?
feel anything. Whoa.
Here.
All right.
that
Basically,
like
whatever you're feeling.
No.
All right. Okay. On the there you go. On the side there. Oh no. Okay. You want to be very gentle because you're wobbling the tower. Okay.
I'm just-
No. You can't.
I can switch hands.
Yes, you
and
can. There you go.
Just gotta remember where it is.
Okay. Yep. There you go. You still have that same break. Now, fortunately,
Oh,
all right.
wow.
Before-
Is that looking okay?
Yes, that's looking much better. But then you have to locate it on the other
Yeah,
side.
that's okay. I could do that.
All right. Good. All right. Cool. Oof. Very, very close here. Okay. It's okay. It'll be okay. All right. You can feel the tower with the rest of your arm, right? All right. No. All right. You're gonna want to turn it because you're going at it the wrong way. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Good. All right. So lower, lit. Turn it. Hold on. Turn it counterclockwise, just a touch. Perfect. Stop. All right. Down. A little bit further. Back to the left. There you go. Good. There. Down. Perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
Well done.
Love you, subs.
Nugget.
I'm a good guide. Fuck you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Nugget squawks very loudly a couple of times. And as she squawks, all of the warriors put down their weapons and clear a path for you guys to get off of the roof. But the T-Rex moves to where the ladder is to climb down off of the roof. And Nugget is just staring at you guys. You're sort of hovering in the air. But it's you guys and the robot dog
Yeah.
on the roof of the hotel.
Luck, buddy. You first.
Okay. Okay, give me a pull for Lug.
Yeah, all right. So I motion towards Lug to try the ladder because because the T-Rex is still staring us down. Oh boy, I hate this.
Oh God. Oh jeez. Yeah.
This tower's
Oh.
so bad.
No,
No, that one, you can't do that
How
one.
far
Three
down?
3 full levels.
3
down.
full levels. It's been a while since I played this
You're
game.
good. You're good.
All right. Well, I don't want to be that jerk. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh yeah. Oh, like butter, kind of.
You're nervous, and as you send Lug to the
He's
edge of
my
the
baby.
space, and then
My robotic
as
baby.
you're sort of looking at Lug, you sneak a glance over at the T-Rex, and you realize the T-Rex is not being aggressive. It's sort of shaking its butt because it thinks that Lug is the equivalent of a dog toy.
Look, buddy. Look, buddy. Run towards the woods. Run towards the woods.
Okay. Lug runs toward the woods, and as he runs towards the woods, the T-Rex follows. He follows afterward, and as he does, the T-Rex sort of chases off, and the bird people all are standing there, and Lug is running off into the woods.
Into the woods.
Okay, so we run for the
We should get to the
ladder. Yeah.
Okay. The three of you all run towards the ladder, and you are taking off the jetpack. Or you are
No,
just
I'm staying on that jetpack.
staying on the
Doing
experimental
my
approach
very
jetpack.
best bird imitation.
Cool. I need you to have a drink or
F.
This is fine.
yeah, you got
Okay.
you've got enough fuel to last in the experimental. Chicken.
Woo!
The chicken people let you guys. The chicken people let you guys pass the ladder, and as you get down, you walk over to the car tentatively and start it. You sort of hover above the car. Dante, as you climb towards the ladder, Nugget follows you and hovers above you.
What's up, girl?
And sort of hovers above you as you make your way to the car.
Okay, but I'm down off of the ladder.
You're down off the ladder, you're on the ground, and Nugget is just sort of
All right.
now on the ground, sort of walking you to the car as you make your way to the car. I imagine you're either backing up,
Right.
keeping eye contact.
So yeah, I'm inching towards the car, but then I notice this, of course,
Right.
and I decide maybe I'll offer my finger as a little olive branch of peace to the bird.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh.
I've given her. Hey, listen, I am a philosophy major. If we can make friends, we should.
There is a tender moment as Dante is sort of the last representation of humanity, and you get in the car and you sort of hover above the car and you're sort
Yeah,
of.
I'm gonna hover above, and I'm gonna kind of land on top of the
And
car.
it is like the
still feel
scene
on
of a
top.
painting. It's like it's David reaching out, to the finger, and Nugget sort of tentatively like comes over, and she pops over a little bit, and she shits on you.
Nothing more lucky than a bird taking a poo on you.
Normally, the minute she does that, all of the warriors jump off and completely start. They ignore the car, they ignore you guys, they ignore the jetpack, they ignore your. So with this last couple pulls, these last two pulls,
Oh God.
I need you to tell me how you're handling all of these warriors and Nugget, who has claimed you in her own special way.
But I definitely view this as an aggressive act.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you do. You thought, hey, it's lucky, until the warriors did it, and now Nugget is just sort of like staring at you.
Okay. Well, let's see. I just threw my dog away too. Okay, so I gotta make 2 pulls here. I can't substitute a drink for one of them. This is terrible.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, it's no good. It's not really great.
No.
So first off, I flip the bird. And
Beautiful.
I rip off my shirt and throw it over her and make a dash for the car. 1.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. The minute you blind Nugget,
Do I still have to go?
you do. The minute you blind Nugget, she starts hurriedly flapping around back and forth to try to get out from under the shirt, but the soldiers seem to copy her movements exactly, and they start randomly losing all coordination, wondering if this is what they were supposed to be doing the whole time. As that does, you rev the engine and you start a slow
So this
sort of
one-
climb, hoping
this
that
one's
he can do
fine?
that run-in
Right.
and grab thing. Brooks and Dunn is playing very loudly.
Very loudly, yeah.
You're refusing to get in the car. You're still sort of
Oh, I'm
hovering
still fully
above.
in character.
Oh, you might actually get.
Oh my god.
As you hop in the car, the shirt is flipped upward. You go, drive! You jump on the ladder that's on the back. The car takes off as Nugget sort of stares at all of you. And the warriors flank her. And she makes her way around and back into the hotel. And as she moves her way back into the hotel, the T-Rex comes out of the forest, no lug in sight. The bird people all sort of surround her, and that's when the loud crack is heard, even from you guys in the car, as the motel, that was only one story, splits in half. And the throne that seemed to be on the roof of the motel sort of drops into place where it's supposed to be.
Oh.
Who did what?
Oh
And as that happens,
no.
Nugget, you are going to describe to me the end of chapter 2 of The End of the World. So as this egg splits open, you are going to close us out tonight. You've got a few minutes to show us what happens.
They're driving, is that correct?
They're driving in the car.
I'm driving.
Oh my gosh.
I'm driving.
Gosh.
So as soon as the motel cracks in half, a humongous chicken emerges that is twice the size of the T-Rex. Begins hurtling towards your car.
It's moving imperceptibly fast, I would think. At something that speed, it doesn't even have to move fast. It's large steps, and it is hurtling after the car.
It is hurtling after the car, and all of a sudden it screeches as loud as it possibly can and breaks every single window inside the Ecto-1.
Okay.
Take a drink for me.
Yeah,
'cause
no, I
you're
got
gonna
you.
have to avoid being killed by shards of glass.
Ah!
There. Wow.
I'm good.
Okay. Keep going.
As soon
Wait,
as
are
it
you in
does
person?
that,
I think we're all in. Or, yeah.
as soon as it does that, you hear a very familiar screech, not as loud. It comes from Nugget.
Nug?
And as soon as you hear that, the creature stops dead in its tracks and looks right back at Nugget. Turns back around, looks at your car, waves like this.
Fuck.
And the Ecto-1 continues straight down the street. And that is where we end.
Giga chicken.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the world. Part 2. As our heroes drive in a blasted out window to Ecto-1 as a giant chicken stands vigilant as the smaller chicken assumes her right as leader of this clan in post-apocalyptia. Thank you all so much for tuning in. In my wildest dreams, I could not have called this.
Really?
Chicken cults, Nugget being the bad guy, T-Rexes,
Don't forget the chicken
all
sacks.
All hail.
Sex.
If I had a t-shirt for this episode, it would be what Fire and Audie and everyone in the chat room and subs are saying. All hail Queen Nugget. Long live the Queen. All of these characters hopefully will be back for the end of the trilogy, the end of the world, part 3.
The end of the end.
The end of the end.
The end of the end.
Where Nugget...
I kind of want it to be called A New Beginning.
Nugget and her army and the survivors team up to fight the final sort of bad guy.
Jenny Lynn's the only one left from the original episode.
It's true.
It's true. Thank you all.
Nugget, but
Thank you all so much. May she reign eternal. All hail Queen Nugget. Please join us in the voice chat. We have a very special game of Dread next week. I am not going to be your drunken master. Brian is not going to be your drunken master. Eric is going to be your drunken master. We have a very brand new drunken master, and he is doing something that I'm very excited about. Eric, go ahead and tell us what your subject is going to be for Dread next week.
Superheroes. Yes. But not like your top tier superheroes. These are all heroes whose powers have a really, really awkward caveat that keeps them from being top tier.
To give them a hint, to get people back for next week's Dread, would you describe John's power for next week, please?
Absolutely. So John has super strength, damn near invulnerability, but only when he's intoxicated.
So, in order to use this super strength and this superpower, the superhero has to drink.
Yeah, so it only seems fair that John has to drink too.
That's like the most dangerous time.
I know.
You will have plenty of other superheroes with amazing downfalls. Eric and I had a couple of meetings where we wrote this story, and I warned him that this story is amazing, so they're gonna fuck it up.
Yep.
That's John, but what about
It's loosely based on John as a person.
Fire, you just won the internet. Congratulations. We're going to go home because it's not going to beat that. Yeah. Some of us are going to be in voice chat. Drunk John will be in voice chat.
Taco Bell Run.
Taco Bell Run. Thank you.
Guys, go to Taco Bell.
Thank you, our guest DM for this evening. Thank you for being flexible. Thank you, all of you who spent bits and make this show amazing and what it is. We love you all. Good night, Dreadites.